Welcome to another exciting episode on Untold Alternatives podcast. I'm your host, Christian Ibeke. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. On this episode, we'll be exploring blockchain technology, digital finance, and cryptocurrency. And our guest today is Dr. Danderson, a seasoned researcher and consultant in the field of marketing with a wide range of experience from Africa, Europe, and Oceania. Dr. Danderson, you're welcome. So today we have this very timely conversation on something that's been quite trendy lately, and it's about blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, and the digital landscape of finance in this age of technology. Now, usually here on Untold Alternatives, there's something we do, and that's to give you the puzzle and you literally take it away. So I think I'd like us to start with blockchain technology. Would you just give us some very basic background of what blockchain technology is all about?
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me. Yeah, blockchain is actually a technological marvel. It came as a result of the limitations of the internet. Let me start with actually the meaning or definition of a blockchain. Please bear with me. I'm not a developer. My discussion this evening is going to revolve around the business or the social side of blockchain technology. What is a blockchain? Blockchain is a digital ledger comprising many computers that are connected, where transactions are recorded. And those transactions are immutable. That is, you cannot delete them. Once a transaction is made, now it connects to a previous transaction. Now, an attempt to delete that transaction, you must have to also go through all the other chain, the other nodes, what they call the other nodes. So you cannot easily delete a transaction. That's why it is said that transactions on the blockchain are immutable. Now, the question is, why actually do we need a blockchain technology? Like I said earlier, it came as a result of the limitations of the internet. Precisely in 1983, the internet was invented. And then there was this hype, the excitement, everybody was happy. Of course, it's going to provide a level playing field for everybody. Those who are cut off from development, once they have access to the internet, at least they are going to see what is happening in other parts of the world. Jobs and everything will be easier. Information will be easier. I remember that time also when I was in my home country, Nigeria, the excitement was much. Now, information could be accessed easily. And of course, we began to see businesses going online. You can order stuff and so on. But then, it was now discovered that as internet grew, only a handful of people benefited from its adoption. Now we began to see online businesses, for instance, the e-commerce, and so on. Now, the implication of this is that those businesses that acted or that act as intermediaries now became a kind of gatekeepers. When we access those platforms, our digital footprint, our data remains with them. And then whatever they do with those data, it is a black box. We don't know about whatever happens behind the scene. They sell those data, and they also use those data to lure us. That's why they have these algorithms where, for instance, if you make a purchase on a particular platform, you discover that you will see things or items related to your last purchase. So they're using your data to also lure you. Sometimes some people buy out of impulsiveness because they've seen something similar. So what I'm saying is that the internet now seems to benefit a handful, just a few merchants. But now the blockchain developers came up with look, only few persons are benefiting from this. How can we decentralize value? How can we make value accessible to everybody? And then it now came to a point that, look, we have to get this technology together so that people that were cut off, value can now go to everybody. That is why when somebody is connected on the blockchain, as we said earlier, it is decentralized. We are equal stakeholders on the blockchain. We have the developers, we have the miners, we also have the customers. Everybody participates in the system. So it's not something that now a merchant becomes richer at the expense of every other person. If there is a benefit, it diffuses to everybody on the network. Now the question now is, how has blockchain progressed up till the stage where we are today? Initially, when you talk about blockchain, what comes to people's mind is the idea of cryptocurrency. Of course, you cannot take away crypto from blockchain. In fact, it is the oil through which blockchain technology runs. But I want to allay the fears that, look, blockchain is not about cryptocurrency. It's just an aspect of blockchain. Now, when development increased in the blockchain, people now began to launch projects into it. Initially, it started with Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin is the mother of blockchain. We remain grateful to Satoshi Nakamoto being the founder of Bitcoin. Now, it progressed to a point where Buterin, with his friends, formed the Ethereum blockchain. Now, Ethereum came as a result of also of the limitations of Bitcoin. With Ethereum, you can now build apps, you can build projects on the blockchain. The challenges with the Bitcoin was that there was no what they call a smart contract. With smart contracts, actually, smart contract is a coded, just as the name implies, it's a contract but coded into the blockchain. All the business terms and agreements and all the do's and don'ts and everything we do in a normal traditional contract system, all of them are now embedded in the blockchain. That is actually the problem that Ethereum came to solve. Now,
something I've picked from what you've said so far is that cryptocurrency is just one aspect of blockchain technology. Now, I think it's common knowledge, or it's a common perception. Many people, when they hear blockchain technology, the first thing that comes to their mind is cryptocurrency. And some people even believe that blockchain is limited to crypto. So I want to take us a little bit out of that crypto side and take us to now the business side that you've highlighted. Maybe you can dive a little bit deeper into that area. How can this business side be explored, especially for traditional businesses and maybe in everyday life?
Thank you very much. Yeah, blockchain actually offers incredible opportunities for businesses. Now, with smart contracts, you can build a business on the blockchain. Let me give you some practical examples. Before I give you these examples, I want you to understand that what makes the blockchain different from the traditional Web 2. When I say Web 2, I'm actually talking about these other businesses we see that are just limited within the internet scope. Now, what makes different is that as a customer, as a consumer, I am part and parcel of the business. In fact, in the marketing field, there is one theory we call the service dominant. I'll answer your question. The one theory called the service dominant logic. It was actually proposed by Vargo and Lusk in 2004. They proposed that, look, value is embedded in exchange process. If there is no exchange, there is no value. Number two, value also revolves within relationships. And when I, as a traditional marketing researcher, when I came across blockchain, actually volumes have been written about service dominant logic. And I found that, look, the service dominant logic is much more suitable in the blockchain space than the traditional business environment. Now, to come to your question, because I'm talking about value now, we actually marketing, our whole business is how customers can have, because without value, you cannot patronize a business. We came to this because we have value, and you are watching us because you want to derive value. Now, businesses are building on the blockchain. For instance, now we have businesses that what they call a drive to earn. You know, you hop into your car, you drive to a distance, could be 1 kilometer, 10, 20, 30, depending on where you are going to. Everything ends there. But with blockchain, there are businesses that as you enter your steering, and then you hop in, and then you connect, the distance you cover, you earn as you drive. Now we have traditional navigation system. We are going to somewhere, and then the map is telling you turn left and turn right and so on. There are blockchain projects. You know, when you use those traditional navigation systems, you generate data for the owners of those businesses, and that's why they keep getting richer and richer and richer. But with blockchain, as you generate data, you also earn from the data that you generate. For instance, with the Web3 navigation, when I say Web3, that's a blockchain based now. With Web3 navigation apps, you can update the app. You can also provide real-time traffic information, and then you earn. You have I can use the word now, crypto. You have a crypto from that platform, you earn, and that crypto you also sell it. So you are not just driving and then making money or generating data for people. You are also part of that process. There is also projects that deal with harnessing IoT data. We have these Internet of Things. You generate data from different things you use at home, drone or smart grids and so on. And it ends there for the traditional businesses. And then there is this dichotomy. The hardware manufacturers are there, or the service providers, and then the consumers. You buy these smart stuff and they keep at home. Whatever data that is generated, you don't know how it is used. But with blockchain, you can stream your data and then earn from even the data that will be generated by your IoT devices. So it's a huge opportunities that blockchain offer. Then I want to give you maybe the last one. There's also loyalty earning points on the blockchain or projects. Now, the challenge we have in a traditional business system is that as a consumer, you don't know what actually goes into the calculation of the loyalty points they say they give you. They trail you with the data you generate for them, and not that you are happy. Maybe the next time you go to buy something, they say you've taken off 5% or 10%. You don't know how it happens. But with the blockchain, you own your data. Now, besides the fact that you own your data, you also actually knows what goes into the generation or how that information is calculated, such that this is how much I own, this is how much I have generated as a point on this loyalty program. What is the implication of that? You, number one, can transfer what you have earned, your point, convert it into a crypto, and then you can sell it and get money and solve other issues. Now, the problem is that with the current or traditional system is that you are limited within that service provider. For instance, a hotel. If a hotel gives you a loyalty point, if you go to another hotel, you cannot transfer your point to this other new hotel, this other new service provider. But blockchain cancels this. You can transfer your point to another service provider, or you can even sell your point, even loan your point to another person. So actually, there are many business opportunities on the blockchain. I said but let me add this. It will be very interesting. Over there in Africa or some other parts of the world, there have been this challenge of a theft. Let me give an instance of a business. Those who run poultry businesses. Now, many of these poultry businesses have closed because the owners of those businesses are not there to know what goes on, and then those who they employ to run those businesses steal their eggs or their chickens and so on. If you are watching us, I'm here to tell you, blockchain is here to make you happy eventually. With blockchain technology, you can track how many eggs are produced per day, How many of them are from the point where they are laid to the point where they are taken to the final place? And of course, how many chickens you have, and what happens to each and every one of them? Of course, you have to install some smart stuff, but they're not quite expensive. So the challenge, whether you are from the developed world or from the developing world, blockchain technology offers tremendous opportunities, either also as a service provider, you are a business person, or you are a consumer. Don't get stuck with the idea of, it is a crypto, then I don't want to. No, crypto is just a little microcosm of the blockchain. There are many things that blockchain offers that is actually to change and transform the world, how we run businesses.
Thank you very much. You've talked about some of the applications. Extensively. You've spoken extensively about them. I'd like to take us a little bit further from some of the things you've explained. Income earning, management, supervision, tracking of production processes, and all of that. One thing that people know quite commonly is now cryptocurrency when it comes to money on blockchain. Can you tell us how that happens? On a very basic level, for instance, how does the crypto thing work on blockchain?
Thank you. I've been trying to avoid discussing this because crypto has a kind of people have some sentiment about crypto, but you can't run away from
Absolutely,
crypto. The world that must accept it.
Yeah.
Now, how it happens, let me start from the Web2 business angle. When you start you register your business, and there are a number of shares that is indicated your business will generate and so on. Now, at the point you want to go public, these shares are sold and the people subscribe, and then once the subscriber money goes into your business, you can use it to develop your business further. That is just exactly what happens in the crypto world. Now, once a project is launched on a blockchain, there are, I will call them tokens, depending on whether you're on layer 1. We have layer 0, we have layer 1, we have layer 2 on the blockchain, but I won't dabble into that now. Now, if it is maybe a layer 2 project, now you have tokens. You can go public by either getting some venture capitalists, a group of people, a private sale. They buy your tokens, and when they buy, they give you money. That money is just for you to go, just like the Web2 business system, go and develop the project. If you go public, we call it TGE, token generation event. Now you will announce a particular point to a particular date and time when you are going to go public. Everybody will be aware, and when once you launch, everybody begins to, people who are interested in your business begins to buy. But one thing very, very important, maybe this is what many people do not know. You don't just jump into and launch a project. That's what they call a white paper. But some people call it a late paper. That's what contains the core deliverables of your business, what you are going to do different from what other projects are doing, and the thing that should compel somebody to invest in your business. Now, if you've read that white paper and you feel like, look, this business aligns with my values, what do? You buy their tokens. And once you buy that token, you have become a customer. In the traditional business sense, it's an investor. You become an investor in that project. Now, as that project grows, your investment also grows. Now, one thing that is very, very important to note is that, please, there are many projects there that are scams, and we need to be very careful about those. There are also what they call meme coins. Meme coins, if you just launch one project, there is no utility, there is no value, it's just the hype, the excitement about that project. And interestingly, or painfully too also, these are the projects that even make much money than these other utility-driven projects. Now, let me talk on the utility side of it. You buy the tokens. The money goes to the developers, and they use your money to develop that project. And now, as people begin to come in to see that project is growing, your money is growing. Now, in the traditional business sense, you declare dividend at the end of the certain time, and then you give to those who have invested in your business. But in the crypto world, there is no dividend to declare. What happens is that as the project grows, the value of investment grows. But what very many good projects do is what they call airdrop. Airdrop is an amount of money, of course, in the cryptocurrency that the developers of these projects give to loyal and committed investors. In fact, if you are into a very good project, you discover that you even make much more money than what people make in the traditional business setting. So you can earn money by airdrop. You can also earn money by staking. Staking is the core of blockchain, especially those who run proof of stake projects. Now, without staking, the platform is vulnerable, and anybody can hack into it. So when you buy the token, you can now give back that token to that project. That's what in the project called staking. In staking, you earn APR at the end of some people calculate it month, some even earn daily. Now, what you earn, you can even convert it to money or use it to solve your problems. So that is how people make money in the blockchain space.
Yes, cryptocurrency has attracted a lot of debates in both policy and even research landscape recently. And very recently, we saw these executive orders in the United States, and President Trump saying that he wants the US to be the world capital of cryptocurrency. What's your take? What do you think is the future of this cryptocurrency? Do you think at any point it's going to replace the traditional fiat currencies?
Let me start with the pushbacks or the resistance to the adoption of a blockchain, or by extension, cryptocurrency. We must admit the fact that there are many things that go on in some blockchain projects. We have these, the information is everywhere. People use blockchain to push drugs, money laundering, many people evade taxes and so on. And now many people, some also say it is a form of get rich quick. So because of this, some people's just wrong with this idea. It's all about the cryptocurrency. No, see, whatever has any value, there are bad actors that are going to turn it the other way around. So rejecting blockchain technology because of bad actors is tantamount to throwing away the bathwater with the baby. Let's look at what actually is the value that crypto or blockchain offers. Now, if we talk about the policy side of things, this has been the struggle within the space for many years now. There has been no clarity. There are many businesses that want to launch. They are limited because there is no regulation. Every attempt to get clarity from the authorities are falling on deaf ears. I'm happy with what the European Parliament did a couple of years, that was last year, and it kicked off on the 31st of December 2024, what they call MiCA. That MiCA regulation has made it very clear. So now in Europe now, businesses that want to launch on blockchain and so on can do that because the laws have been passed and everything is very, very clear on what to do. But then we cannot talk about a big explosion in terms of adoption without bringing US into play. US is everything. It discovered when US enters into anything, it always diffuses to the rest part of the world. And what has been holding or restricting the adoption of blockchain technology has been because of challenges with the authorities in the US. Now, President Trump, while he was campaigning, made a promise. That promise was that he's going to make the US the crypto capital of the world. And we have seen by the executive order he signed a couple of days ago, he made it very clear. But if you break down that executive order into bits, he has mentioned that the US is going to be the crypto capital of the world, and of course the AI capital of the world also. And then from the law that was passed, yesterday, there has been this regulation that have been a challenge, whether banks can custody cryptos. But then the past administration did not deem it necessary that it should be passed, even when the two houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives, came together in a bipartisan manner. They passed the law, but then the president did not see reason to sign it, and of course it ended with the president. But Trump now coming on board, in fact, he has appointed crypto advocates in terms of the person who is there as the acting chairman of SEC, Mark Uyedea, then the CFTC also is also a crypto person, and the whole thing is becoming very clear now. Now this law SAB 121 has been repealed. Now we have now SAB 122, which is one that was passed yesterday. With that now, the cry of those in the crypto space is now has been answered. Banks can now custody crypto. No, before you cannot. The law then was that banks must treat crypto as a liability, which made many projects to get scared. Even bank got scared. But now everything is now clear. Bank can now begin to custody crypto. What now is the implication of this? You know, if banks begin to accept crypto, there are some people who fear because they fear getting hacked, losing money, and so on. You can simply go across the counter and then you get the crypto and it is stored there for you. But once the value of that particular project increases, your money is increasing. So instead of going through the technical rigors and complexities of navigating from one platform to another, you can easily get a crypto and then your money begins to grow for you.
Interesting. Now, how can businesses or industries outside the fintech benefit from some of these advancements?
Crypto is not only for the financial technology companies. No, it's for every business. Let me give you a supply chain. We have these big conglomerates like DHL, FedEx, and so on. They are tracking their shipments via blockchain. DHL FedEx is not a financial company. They are logistics and supply chain based companies, but they are using blockchain to ease their businesses. In fact, what they call provenance, which is one of the problems that blockchain technology solves. That's to prove the origin of stuff. Now, those who are into agriculture and so on, blockchain technology makes your life easy. You can track from when the product or when the commodity was produced, even when it is on the shelf. Blockchain can do that. Like I mentioned before, those in the logistics companies, you can track the shipment and so on. I mentioned the poultry farm before. You can do that. Even the retail companies, blockchain can help you to launch loyalty programs on chain. And you can just, as you know, they have so many platforms where they run their customer relationship management and so on. Blockchain can help you to do all these. The most interesting is this: you need to hire data analysts to be able to analyze your data. And so Web3 makes all this data available and even analyzes the data for you. Everything is clear, visualized, and so on. So it offers tremendous opportunities for businesses.
Got it. Now, I also know that you've written a couple of papers around artificial intelligence. Is there any interaction between these two, blockchain technology, artificial intelligence? Do you want to comment on that?
Yes. Yesterday, I responded to an email sent by one of the foremost advocates of blockchain. In fact, he has an organization, and his organization trained me. It was through him I learned about it and so on. Now, he developed a new course, and they call it Generative AI and Blockchain. And when you go through that course, it's on Coursera, if you want to access it. When you access that course, it is a marvel. First of all, like I said earlier, I'm not talking from a technical side of things. And AI does what humans what humans cannot actually do. Now, the volume of data they can use to analyze with AI and so on, human beings can be limited in doing those stuff. Now, if you integrate, it is possible. AIs are being integrated into blockchain project. In fact, let me give you an instance of what they call smart contract. Smart contracts, like I said before, they are codes written just like we have traditional business contracts. Everything, the do's, the don'ts, the terms and the conditions, all of them they're embedded in the computer code. But do you know, one thing that have been a challenge in the blockchain space is that hackers explore vulnerabilities in the smart contract. But with an AI is able to now go through the smart contract to know where there are vulnerabilities and can alert you as a developer. You need to block this, you need to change, you need to correct this, and so on. Besides that, there is a project. I don't want to mention specific projects now. There is a project as we speak now that runs on Starlink that also connects the sun, and they have a device where you as a consumer, as a customer, let me digress a bit. Blockchain turns consumers to prosumers. Who is a prosumer? A prosumer is both a consumer and also a producer. In the traditional business sense, we are just only consuming, but with blockchain, you consume and you also produce. Now, what am I talking about? With this particular project now, you have solar panels installed. Now, there are excess of this energy generator you don't actually use. But with this new project now, with AI enables you, number one, as this excess energy is there stored, you can now sell it. The AI determines which particular user uses the traditional grid, this one uses smart grid. So AI helps you to make this whole thing possible. To answer your question precisely, yes, many projects have integrated AI into their chain.
Great. Now, looking at the way technology is rapidly evolving, what do you foresee for the next, let's say, 10 to 50 years?
Maybe I may see this as a call to action. Call to action because if you are still looking at blockchain from only the perspective of cryptocurrency and scams and money laundering and so on, you are missing a lot. And if you have a business and you get scared of doing that, you are also missing a lot. The future is very, very bright so long as blockchain technology is concerned. Those in the blockchain space are really excited what the president of the United States of America is doing now. The laws are being passed, the executive orders are being signed. The committee now to ensure that, look, this thing takes off as soon as possible has been set, and within a very short time is going to come into effect. And what is the implication of this? I mentioned before. Let me just look at you now. You are patronizing a business. You are using a particular navigation app, and then you are only using the app without earning from the app. Then this other platform is helping you, are making money by using the navigation app. Which one will you use? I'm asking you.
Of course, the one that
you can make money. So you see, that's where the future is going. I'm looking for where I can have value for my income and so on. So I will patronize one that can make money. Now, let me give you another instance. The traditional business system is not inclusive enough. There are many people that are excluded from the banking system. But blockchain solves that. Somebody in the remote part of Asia or Africa, any part of the world, just have an internet. You don't need a bank. You are your own bank. In fact, blockchain came as a result of taking off intermediary, because these intermediaries increase the value or the cost of services. You can deal directly with the owner of that particular item or product you are interacting with. Let me give you another instance. There's also a project now. We have these food delivery apps where people come in, and then you have the restaurant there. They have this intermediary, the food delivery app, and then we have the workers, the food delivery people, and so on. Now, you as a consumer, you are paying more because the money you are paying covers also the person delivering the food. But that is a particular blockchain project now. You don't deal directly as a consumer with the restaurant. And even by dealing with the restaurant, it's not just that you buy, you also earn by patronizing that business. So it's a matter of win-win thing. But the traditional business setting is all about prospering just one set of people. But you grow and I grow. That's what blockchain came to give us.
No, this opportunities sound exciting and really enormous, but it seems like, I mean, from what you've said so far, blockchain appears to be really integrating the traditional business sectors nowadays and obviously expanding the opportunities. Now, people may wonder, how can they get involved? Where can someone get started?
Okay, like we say in the blockchain space, this is not a financial advice. Getting started is not too difficult. If you want to know what is happening in the blockchain space, there are two notable platforms. I think I will recommend CoinMarketCap is a starting point. CoinMarketCap is an aggregator where several blockchain projects they list these projects, and then in this project, if you go to the metadata, you're able to see the website of the project. You see their all the relevant information, how many tokens, how to store those tokens. In fact, if you now go to their website, you'll be able to see their white paper, what they are doing, and so on. Besides CoinMarketCap, you can also go to CoinGecko. CoinGecko does the same thing like CoinMarketCap. With CoinGecko, you can also see this information. There are so many other platforms where you can get it, but these two are the most prominent. And of course, go to YouTube. Just type, "How can I get involved in a new blockchain project?" You see loads of YouTube platforms you can learn from. But please, if you want to launch into the blockchain space, I want to advise that do more learning before you learn, otherwise you're going to get your fingers burnt.
Great. As we begin to wrap up, do you want to share any success stories, either yours or maybe from someone, I mean, especially having been in that space for a while?
Well, I entered the blockchain space as a researcher. You know, researchers were curious, we see something new, want to see why. That's what makes the world interesting. Now I got to know if there's any connection between these and my traditional and marketing research. And yes, my research integrates tourism with traditional marketing. And I've got to know this particular project. In fact, they are integrating the Web 2 and the Web 3. The challenge with the traditional business tourism services is that you just patronize them, you don't earn anything. But with this particular business now, you patronize them, just like we have these other accommodation providers and so on, and then you earn from there. Now, I have followed that project for a while, and I got so interested in it that I decided to do a publication on them. I joined them because now let me give you this it's very, very important for you if you want to actually join a project. There are many platforms where you can get information about the project, like I said before. But then please don't forget there are telegrams. That is actually where they interact with those who have invested in their business. They give you updates and so on. So I decided to join the Telegram channel of this particular tourism-based project. And I have learned so much. So I did a publication about it. So the success story is that by the time I got my paper submitted, the novelty of that project, though I used two projects to compare, the novelty of the project, what they are offering, and of course the approach I use, my methodology and all that, I did not receive any revision. It was just accepted. So I became happy that, look, I'm not just practically following this project, I've also converted my experience into what I'm actually feeding myself, being the academic side of things. Yeah.
Great. Now, one thing that is very common in technological space nowadays are, ethical issues. When it comes to blockchain, are there any ethical things to worry about?
Yeah, ethics, it depends on how you look at it. Obviously, in everything there are some things you really need to avoid in order not to go against the values of the society or against another person. Some people, for instance, this particular publication I made, on that particular space, in fact, the paper was all about how blockchain projects can moderate discussions, views, and comments on that blog, on that particular project. You see that some people come into the platform and want to, particularly if the price of the token is going up, you see everybody is happy, the excitement is building, and so on. And then once the price is going down, there are complaints. But there are people who are who just want to run the projects down. They all about, maybe they are actually competing projects. That's what so many of them do. If you have a competing project, you just join a telegram of another project, and you just want to raise complaint in the blockchain space. They call it FOD, fear of me, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. You raise fear, uncertainty, because there is no regulation. But when somebody is always complaining, some people who are not learned or do not have much knowledge about what's happening, they begin to pull their money out of it, and you see that project will fall. So I would think that these are one of the things that people should look at, this ethical side of things. It has actually crumbled many businesses, and blockchain developers do not actually have a grip on how to handle this side of things. It calls for more research, it calls for regulations on how they can handle these complaints or fraud on blockchain projects.
Great. As we wrap up, I would like you to talk. Of course, you're a marketer, so you know a lot more about the customer side. Navigating blockchain, for example, the interface of the application seems to be a very complex thing that maybe people who have, for example, low level of education, or maybe the woman in the market may find some difficulties in accessing or exploring the capabilities of this technology. How do you think we can break that jinx?
Yeah, this is actually a call now to developers. One thing I have found as a researcher, I've been in several blockchain projects, is that the developers look at things from their own perspectives. And that is where that's where most of these platforms are also highly technical. The user experience perspectives are not just well captured. And then you see somebody has some money to invest because he has to go from one platform to another, and then to another, and then to another. The person gets worried along the line, then feel, look, this is not where I belong, and so on. So the call to developers is, look, in all your projects, get social scientists on board, get marketers on board, get communicators on board. Don't only assemble technical people on your team. They are only going to look at things from the technical side of things. But if you get these people who also share different perspectives from management, from business, from communication, and so on, you discover that you have a balanced team. And with that balanced team, also percolate to how your platform looks like. User experience will be built in. And I can guarantee you, when once users are able to easily navigate through your system, it will be your project will sell more than any other platform. So user experience should be taken into consideration seriously.
Thank you. Last question with one word. Do you believe or do you think that these decentralized platforms is here to stay, or are we expecting it to disappear sometime in the future?
If it would have disappeared, it would have died before now. But with the current president of the United States of America, in fact, the future is bright for the blockchain space.
Thank you very much for being here, and thank you very much for staying with us. And this brings it to a wrap. But do remember to subscribe to this channel and share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you very much for staying with us, and bye.